Good morning, everyone. Welcome to August 27th and this fine Thursday morning. I hope everybody's having a great start to their day. Sorry for the echo. Let's go over and take care of a little business on Rumble. House cleaning, if you will. As you can see, we got some clouds this morning. Temperature's 10 degrees warmer this morning than it was yesterday. So if you'll check and notice in the scroll across the bottom of the screen, you'll see that Tina Turner got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1986. (1965) Elvis meets the Beatles. They hang together for a while. And we have a few birthdays. So we're off to a good start today. Sandra Martin, good morning. And great to see you here. I'm sure some other people will filter in shortly. As you can see, that's the two weather reports from our mountains to our coastal town, Wilmington. They're a little closer together in temperature today, but both have pretty serious humidity. I was very pleased to see all the tributes to Dolly yesterday and continuing into today. I think the biggest trait that Dolly had that a lot of the people in the entertainment business should catch. She said that she is an entertainer. That's what she does. She stayed out of politics and all the other drama. Got to give her a lot of credit for that. Khadijah, good morning. I guess, Khadijah, I should do southern border weather. The thing I mean, she was a good actress. She was an excellent singer, and she wrote so many songs and poetry, which to me, poetry is a song just without the music. Sharon, I met a couple from Poland on the trails yesterday. And I told them that they're more than welcome to stop in for morning coffee. So hopefully they'll do that. Yeah, we got a little bit of rain. I got some stuff I need to burn, so I might take advantage of that. A very nice young couple. I enjoyed talking to them. Uh, they had tons of questions. But they were saying that they had inflation of like 20%, which is crazy. I mean, a few years ago, ours got up to 9%, but 20% is something else. Oh, and Khadijah, uh, prayers for your daughter. I grew up with all kinds of allergies. When they gave me the test where they scratch your back and whatnot, the doctor said, usually we tell people what they're allergic to. In your case, we're going to tell you I think it was 7 things I wasn't allergic to. And one of the ladies up at the park found out I like spicy hot foods. I got a bag full of jalapeno peppers. Oh, yeah. Mm-mm-mm. I think she put a couple of homegrown tomatoes in there, too. We got rain moving in. So the lunar eclipse tonight, as much as I would have liked to go live with that, There's just no way if it's raining or cloudy for that matter. Oh, what else is going on a Thursday? It was kind of a light music history morning. Usually I can find page after page after page to go through and cherry pick. Today there was almost nothing. Mike, what's going on? Good suggestion about the bagpipes. YKB jumped on that quickly and did a good job. Oh, that sounds like fun. And Khadijah will be praying that your neighbors come to their senses. YKB, good afternoon and welcome. Kathy Bates. Kathy, YKB's artwork inspired an addition to the Nightbot commands. The one that you were doing out in space, I mean, the twist at the end was funny, don't get me wrong, but that was some really good artwork that you started off with there. We will see. And yesterday on the trails was kind of nice. It was warmer than it was supposed to be. Temperature shot up pretty quick, but no bears, no snakes. Don't worry about it, YKB. Ooh, geez. 95% humidity. Bleh. 51 degrees looks pretty cool, though. Yeah, Khadijah, I know how that is. Uh, I got neighbors uh, who thinks it's funny to barely miss me with their car. Roger Blair, the gang's all here. But Mike has turned me on to certain electronic gadgets that I might have to grab. So, Roger, are the bears still active in your neighborhood? Yeah, I have a feeling it will unleash the mischievous side of myself. So we'll see. Khadijah, I trust me, I understand. I was sickly and small, for my age and everything, and I got picked on constantly. And then when I got to where I could fight back, it was amazing how surprised and disgusted people were when they picked on me and I retaliated. It was quite humorous. Yeah, and it's just Mr. Lee. Khadijah's on top of stuff. Let me tell you. You Mr. Lee, when I was uh, younger and getting deeper and deeper into stereo equipment, I bought a set of KOSS headphones, which at the time they were top notch. And I paid as much for those headphones as I paid for the stereo set that I then had. But that way I could listen to my music a little louder and not, disturb the whole house, so to speak. Mike, I don't know if you were in chat when I said this, but somebody gave me a bag of uh, peppers yesterday, jalapenos to be exact. Yeah, Mike, that was a terrible situation. I was watching last night where the dam broke and they got no warning, and the city was just swamped. Yeah, Mr. Lee, quarter inch plug. I still have them. They work great. The foam is disintegrated, but they work fantastic. They were made back in the day when things were made to last. The way they were talking about last night, the situation, it almost looked like the whole city got washed away. Well, I thought I had typed the exclamation. Obviously, I was wrong. I better have more coffee. No, Mr. Lee, I don't watch that channel, but let me put it in the notes. Yeah, but she has access to it. She got shot out of a cannon. That sounds like Flyby Charlie, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that's Flyby Charlie. I guess he's just playing footage, covering the news. Princess Joyax, good evening. Good to see you. You've been concentrating on tennis lately. Haven't seen much of you. I hope everything's going well. And thank you for the coffee because my cup is empty right now. Princess, do you play tennis? Do you enjoy playing tennis? Must be nice, Mr. Lee. There's a uh, Princess. There's a few people over in the Philippines and uh, people that are working outside of the Philippines, but they're from the Philippines. Something has greatly changed. I mean, they are. Uh, I'm not sure that somebody hasn't hacked their. Uh, you know, I'm just not sure somebody's not hacked their channels or taken them over. Mike, if you ever see uh, Miss Joyak's hair, she has long, nice hair. She has princess hair, so she got the nickname Princess. Oh, geez, yeah, why not? Don't dish it out unless you're willing to take it. So remember, you're going to have to make the crown look like a old mountain man hat. I'm going to go get a coffee on that one. I think it might be my last cup in the pot of coffee. uh, yeah, I went hiking yesterday. I'm trying to hit the mountain 2 days a week. I mowed all of the yard in one day instead of half one day and half the next. Uh, I want to do the Five Peak hike in September. and that will be 5 mountaintops. 3 of them are hilltops, really, and it's a 11-mile hike, 17, just over 17 kilometers hiking around the mountain. Mr. Lee, I met a young couple from Poland, I think they said, and they said they had experienced 20% inflation. Crazy. I do okay for little old man with asthma. Oh, my feet's fine. Um, but lately, after a hike, the legs have been a little stiff. But also, by doing these hikes here, uh, the challenge is sometime in the spring, but I have never made it. I for whatever reason I don't get the notice or I miss the notice, and so I just do it by myself. I keep hoping Sharon will start doing short videos showing her creativity, her craft work. But she wants to be secretive about it and just show a few people. The the thing of it is by doing these hikes here, uh, hopefully I'll be able to do Grandfather Mountain, and that's probably the most serious hike that I do. It's 3 miles away from the trailhead, and then of course 3 miles back. Um, but there's 3 peaks, and those are actual peaks. There's a 1,000-foot climb, so in total, uh, I'll walk 6 miles and climb about 6,000 feet. Well, that's their problem. I mean, uh, you know, when I started doing those videos, I intentionally tried not to uh, uh, turn it into a professional endeavor and make sure, that every scene and every angle was perfect. I just hold the camera down by my side and walk. Uh, but I want it to be, good enough quality that people can enjoy. It's sometimes it's difficult to get out of that mindset where, like when I was doing calibrations, Mike, I had to calibrate down to the picoamps and 15 decimals for voltages. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I want to try to make it look like you are there on the trails walking. And I still get people, can't you talk? And then other people are, be quiet. I like the fact that there's no talking. It's about nature. It's not about me. That channel. I have to go back to Goldilocks and the Three Bears yet again. There's too much. There's too little, and there's just right. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Lee. And somebody was uh, there you go, Mike. Somebody was talking the other day, and they was concerned with how everybody would react to their subject matter, and it was one of those situations where that they were kind of revealing their inner self a little bit, and I told them, your friends are going to have a hand on your shoulder and letting you know they support you, and everybody else don't matter. And that's just the way it is. Because there's a lot of truth in that saying, haters are going to hate. Some of the equipment, Mike, that I used to calibrate, I would have to set it up, get all of the inputs to the proper level, and then I would have to walk across the room and sit still and wait till it settled out to take the reading. And I tested it one day to just see how little movement it would detect. And I was sitting 5 or 6 foot away from the device. I would wiggle my big toe and it would react. That's how sensitive the equipment was. I've not seen any of your crafting. And I kind of like that comment one of the Beatles made. If it hadn't have been for uh, Elvis, the Beatles wouldn't have existed. Well, Kathy, are you sharing your crafting? Put it out there. When when I was doing photography shows back in the 80s and 90s, learned real quick what one person loves, another person hates. Art is so subjective. Well, you just said you were a crafter. Why did you deny being a crafter? But Sharon deserves a pat on the back. She really does good work. And that's the message that we're getting to you, Sharon. You do really good work. Good morning, Dolly. Dolly, I got the information, and I will contact you sometime today. And all of this, all of these accidents, and I'm going to call them happy accidents from now on, goes back to one day in 1972 or three. I'm going to say probably 1973. Somebody asked me to ride with them to pick up some stuff, and I did. When we got there, they were having a yard sale, and they had a little 110 camera that the flash was broken. And I wanted to take pictures while I was out hiking, and I said, I don't need a flash because it's out in daylight. And I forked over $1 and got that camera. Mr. Lee, some of those things can turn into some major cash. I paid for all of my camera equipment by photographing weddings. Yeah, Mike, uh, that was amazing. And speaking of amazing, and Mike, the sad thing is, I don't even remember what happened to that camera. Somewhere along the line, it just disappeared. Uh, Somebody I know had a 35 millimeter, and they let me borrow it. And the rest, as they say, is history. uh, Years later, they would refer to them that way, but no, I photographed weddings, and the best, the absolutely best thing about photographing weddings for me was when I would meet them later and show them the photos. I would say there might have been one or two, but every bride and most of the grooms would say, "We are so glad you took photos of this because we didn't even know that was happening." Raymond, good morning, brother. Uh, I think I'd been photographing weddings for about 10 years, and finally one of them did get divorced. But I photographed this one couple's wedding. Both of them had been married before, and I got a phone call from the groom's daughter probably about 3 years, 4 years later. She wanted me to photograph her wedding. So I scheduled time to meet them, and they were doing like a rehearsal. So I got to meet the preacher and everything. And I said, couldn't anybody else make it to the rehearsal? And you talk about putting pressure on somebody because of the divorces and infighting amongst the former couples. Uh, they uh, Nobody was invited to the wedding. It was the preacher, it was the couple, and one other person and myself. So they were counting on me to photograph the wedding, and they were going to show the family the photos. So that was probably the most stressful wedding I ever photographed. I mean, it was small, it was simple, but they were depending on my photos to show everybody. And I thought that was sad that, the exes couldn't get along long enough to, you know, have the be at the daughter's wedding. Come on, people. Mr. Lee, we don't have food at funerals here. They usually have the food at the get together at the relatives' homes. So, and yes, when I got married, I photographed, I took the pictures of my wedding. Geez, Mr. Lee, I'll quote Jerry Seinfeld. I don't know what I'm going to have to eat, but I'm sure it had parents. Ah, that's interesting. Well, when I'm gone, I want you guys to throw a party and laugh at all the funny things the crazy old guy did. Yeah, around here it's the immediate family. There's a get together at their house, and it's pretty much everybody bring a covered dish, and there's going to be deviled eggs, fried chicken, cream potatoes, green beans, some kind of cobbler, and tons of cake. Yeah, Mr. Lee. Well, I've seen it go both ways. I've seen people meet and get married a week later and be married for 50, 60 years. I've seen people live together for 6 years. Yeah, about 6 years, maybe seven. And then they got married and couldn't stand each other, 6 months later. I don't know what that piece of paper does to a lot of people, but it does. Does something. Yeah, trust me, around here, deviled eggs is a staple at get-togethers, and they go all out. I'm telling Sarah. Oh, Mr. Lee, you're going to have to do a little bit better description than that. I don't know what is involved with Scotch eggs, and what on earth is black pudding. We're going to have some cultural education going on here this morning. See, even the puppy alarm wants to know, Mr. Lee. Oh, okay. Kathy knew what it was. I don't know that I've ever had that before. doesn't sound overly appealing. It sounds like something that a Klingon would eat. That Klingons are a Star Trek character. Kathy's a world traveler. She's been shot out of cannons and traveled around the world. There's a lot of that, Kathy. What the? Oh, look at that. Let me plug in the laptop before it dies. I'll make sure to give it a treat later. Oh, now I've got that song Stepping Out playing in my head. Joe Jackson. Oh, geez. That's a good question, Mr. Lee. I've never asked her that. Kathy, are you a dog or a cat person? We, I I enjoy seeing all of the animals, but I can't be around cats. Uh, I'm still a little disappointed in myself that I have not been able to locate my card for the zoo. I put it in a very, very, very safe place and can't find it now. But as soon as I do, I'll be posting some zoo videos. Yeah, Mr. Lee, I'm not a fan of cats being on the kitchen table, the kitchen countertops, and stuff like that. Uh, even if I could be around cats, I would not appreciate that. Well, I don't want to get her ticked off too much because she might retract my popedom. I might not become a pope. Cats do. Who's eating the swans and ducks? Well, Kathy, you're one of the few people that can actually train a cat. Most people I know say that cats allow you to be in their presence. Seagulls? Oh my goodness. Why are they eating the swans? That's not cool. If it's people doing it, that's bad. Really, Mike? I did not know that. Okay. I don't have time, Mr. Lee. I've got a list of suggestions from you guys that I'm still going through. Since I retired, I've never worked so hard. Gotcha, Mike. I understand. So certain beliefs are the opposite of our belief system. And some of the representatives from those certain people are they give a master class in misrepresentation on a daily basis. Oh man, Mr. Lee, that is cool. Uh, Growing up, one of our neighbors had a cat, and they put a bell on the cat because the cat was just a terror to the birds that was in the yard, in the trees, and everything. Uh, the cat was constantly getting birds. So they put the big bell on the cat. And don't you know, even with that bell, the cat would still get birds. I trust me, I enjoy watching cats. I think they're fascinating to watch, but I just can't be around them. So, Mike, are you admitting to eating swans and such? Well, this neighbor's cat was indoor outdoor, and this was probably, oh geez, 40 or 50 years ago. But they didn't want the cat taking out the wildlife, and so they put the bell on him. And Mr. Lee, I never thought about that because I've never owned a cat, and our family never owned one. But I remember growing up, there was flea collars and stuff like that. But that was cats. Like I said, they mostly lived indoors, but they let the cat out of the house some. Well, it looks like it's clearing off nicely this morning. That's a good thing. I was able to bring in the materials for squirrel stew using my BB gun. I know, Mr. Lee. Uh, I totally understand. When I go hiking, it is always fun to meet the pets that people bring along. Aldi the alligator. Oh, you guys remember? I guess it was the late 70s, 80s. That was one of those gags that became very popular. It was a leash that was had a wire or something in it so it would keep its shape, and it faked like people was walking an invisible animal. Gosh, Mike. But I remember people walking around the mall with those things, and it's like you ain't fooling nobody. Mike, oh yeah, there you go, Mike. I don't know how worldwide it is, so I don't know if you people in Europe know about this, but in the 70s, this guy in Florida invented something called Nautilus workout equipment, and he put weights on. It was a machine, and it had weights, but it had a cam. And his theory was, as you move your muscles. When they're extended, they're not as strong, so the cam would lessen the weight, and then as you flex the muscle to its power points, the cam would make the weights heavier. And supposedly, some of the people I met that went to his main office in Florida, he had his workout facility, and there was a big door in back, and the door said, "Oh, what was it? Something like." Next level training or bodybuilder or something like that. It was kind of comical. I don't even remember what it said now. But a few people would open the door and go in, and he had an alligator in a big room, and you were more of a muscle builder if you could wrestle the alligator. Yeah, I know, Mr. Lee. Not a fan of drool. Not a fan. I like chihuahuas. Chihuahuas are piranhas with legs. Really? I did not know Bowflex did that. Yeah, Mr. Lee, it's sad some of the dog breeds have been inbred to the point where they do have problems. Why, how did Bowflex cause that, Mike? If you know and don't mind typing, I'd appreciate it. But I'm going to have to look that one up if you don't share, or maybe I'll ask you Friday. That way you won't have to type so much. Yeah, Friday afternoon, Allie Mack and Mike, they do their thing. And you never know what's going to take place. Anything is on the table for Mike's live. Whoa, Mike, you got to be kidding me. I know, Mr. Lee, pit bulls, hey, they get such a bad rap. And the bad thing is, anybody who grew up watching the Little Rascals, Petey, the dog, it was a pit bull. And everybody loved that little dog. So propaganda. It's all about propaganda. And I know somebody who got a pit bull, and you talking about a smart dog. I mean, that dog was amazing. I was putting it in a fenced in yard for them, and they had said that the dog was an escape artist. It watched me. I'm serious. It watched me lock the gate, and it in watching me, it learned how to unlock the gate and got out. Wiggles is a good dog. And speaking of, how is Wiggles? Fully recovered and everything, Mike? Yeah, most pit bulls are giant babies. That is true, Mike. And the thing that I have seen, and I can't say it's 100% true, but when you encounter a pet dog, that pet dog will tell you more about its owners than you'll ever learn talking to the owners. Uh, they will take on the personality of their masters, plain and simple. So if they've got a bad disposition, it's probably the owners have a bad disposition. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Mike. Kirby's mom, if you still have that information, Kirby's mom, it's still good. You're welcome to chat. Kathy, you're on the panel all the time. This is for people who don't yet know. Uh, Kirby's mom, I met some people from Poland on the trail yesterday. I had some fun. But if you still have that screenshot, the information is still good and you are welcome. Oh, okay. That's fine. We're just talking about pet dogs and pets in general, how they take on the personality of their owners. Oh, great. The best thing about that is it reminded me to turn my ringer off. I forgot to do that. Yeah, Kathy. Yeah, you've been on his panel. I don't know. I've never seen Kirby's mom. I've heard Kirby's mom speak. She has an absolutely delightful voice and personality, and I would enjoy hearing her talk about her taste in music and what's life is like in her part of the world. Positive attitude for sure, and I kind of like promoting that. Oh yes. Uh, I like both the Fountains of Wayne and Postmodern Jukebox versions of that song. And I am a huge fan of that song. And yeah, Mr. Lee, yeah, this morning coffee is a drama free zone. Let's promote positivity. I'm not going to ignore the bad things in life, but I'm going to try to focus on that. Fountains of Wayne and Postmodern Jukebox. Uh, I think his name is Tracy Abrams, who plays stand up bass and sings. That is the only song I've heard him sing where I thought his voice was appropriate. There you go, Roger. Uh, Kirby's mom, if you're not reading chat, Mike says Kirby's mom has got it going on with musical notes. Mr. Lee, I appreciate you stopping in. It's always a pleasure to have you in chat. You take care, and we will see you again soon, I hope. And we're one day away from seeing if Northwoods the results of his interview. Hopefully, he'll have a positive outcome. Kathy, have you finished all your coffee this morning? Have you been launched out of any cannons today yet? Northwoods, I just had said, hopefully tomorrow we'll get good news for you. Oh my goodness. Oh, Mike. Curator of the X Files, Northwoods Cryptid Texas office is in the house. I think because of the distance, he was just blowing you a kiss, but take it as you will. Mr. Lee better be careful. Kathy asked for extra powder in the cannon and she'll go across the Atlantic. Yeah, that Mike, that was kind of sad. He had to take that photo down. I think he had to take it down because of the political correctness over there. I, there's one channel I watch that's in Britain, and they had like a butter knife and had to take it down. I mean, it was something stupid. Yeah, they political correctness over there is off the charts. And now those people that had come into Spain are crossing the channel into the UK. Jeez. So halfway across the Atlantic and the orders were canceled and they turned around and brought you back. That's wild. The only story I have about crossing the Atlantic was when I flew to Paris. About halfway across the Atlantic, the airline that I was on went on strike. But they had, by the time uh, we were due to come home, uh, they had a like skeleton crew of supervisors, managers, and whatnot. And we got home, it just was crazy. Mike says, Nightbot, be careful, or I'll sign you up for a bed and breakfast at Kathy's place. Got you, Northwoods. You know, hindsight's always 2020, but when the school person stepped in and ratted me out to the Marines, I really should have turned around and joined another branch and just not said anything to anybody. Wow, Roger, that's pretty amazing. And you guys spread the word, tell people, uh, encourage people to go to local places where they live. Uh, the park I go to every week, in the 80s, they almost closed it down because nobody was going there. And people get the mentality, oh, that's in my backyard, I'll go next week. And something comes up, oh, it's in our backyard, we'll go next month. And then weeks turns into months, turns into years, and they just never get there. Uh, when we were in Paris, uh, one of the in-laws there, he was born and raised in Paris, France. He had never been to the Eiffel Tower, and he was in his 40s. And I'm like, how can you not do it? And talking to him, it was in his backyard. It was always there. He just never got around to it. So encourage people not to fall into that trap. Well, in my opinion, Mike, that's the only thing governments are good at. And they need to keep their fingers out of any other kind of pie. Yeah, it's probably a good thing. Some of the training might have really triggered my asthma back. Uh, I don't know, but like I said, hindsight's 2020. I would have been much better off. Of course, I could have a much worse ex. I could be I could be in competition with you, Northwoods. My worst ex stories are about dates, not marriage. Yeah, Roger, I looked that up. You had mentioned it before, and it looks like a good place to visit. Oh, Mike, there was a co-op that worked with us, the place that I was working, and he was a good kid. Uh, he he come back and co-opted with us two or three times, and the last time he was there, he said he had gotten a job. He was civilian, but he got a job working with the government. His job was to make like Jeeps and other vehicles uh, give them the ability to be remote controlled and drive them over ordnance to verify damage and resistance to damage. Can you imagine that job? You rig up a car to be remote controlled, and then you get to drive it over stuff and kaboom. That would be a job. I would do that. Or underwriter's laboratory. I wanted to get a job with them really bad. You add current until it, you know, flames up. Yeah, kind of, Mike. But Underwriters Laboratory down in Raleigh, when I heard about this, they flew somebody in a helicopter over one of the lakes, and they got to jump out of the helicopter into the lake to test out uh, diving mask. Yeah, YouTube's doing that now, Mike. It'll come back. But that would have been so cool. Man, I would have jumped out of that helicopter in a heartbeat into the lake. And it was just a test the diving mask. Crazy good. And I would have been good at that because I accidentally blew up stuff all the time in grade school. So I think it was an innate talent. Oh man, Mike, that would be cool. Oh, it's fun. It trust me, it is much easier to do than you would ever imagine. This woman I worked with, she knew that I was skydiving, and she come up and talked to me about it several times. And I told her, I said, I'll tell you everything about it, but until you jump out of a plane, you will never understand what I'm saying. It is so different. Uh, and she come back from vacation. She went on vacation to Florida, and she did a tandem jump while she was down there. And she said, I am so glad I did it. And you are exactly right. You can't understand until you do the jump yourself. It's just amazing. And everybody goes, they think you fall and you get injured. Well, that's because you don't have time to enjoy the fall. From 10,000 feet, you're falling about 40 to 45 seconds. And you're moving at 100. If you're in stable free fall, you're moving at 120 miles an hour about. I never got to where I think their planes could make it to about 12,000 feet, but that was starting to be the limit. If you go up to about 15,000, you could do a real quick head dive And if you were in a stable head dive, you could get up closer to 200 miles an hour. Mike, I would be disappointed if he didn't. Nikki, hey dear, I was talking about you yesterday. You're our island girl. I met a couple from Poland, and I was telling them that we have people come in the chat from everywhere. And I'm doing pretty good for an old man. I'm vertical and above ground. I covered what? Doing the math in my head real quick, between 8 and 9 kilometers yesterday on the mountain. So, like I said, I'm doing pretty good. Oh yeah, Northwoods. Well, I appreciate it. Nikki, is there any update information about changing your home residence? Is there anything on the horizon for you? Because if I understand it right, a volcano eruption took out Nikki's home some time ago. She's safe, her family's safe. But I think it was Nikki that mentioned that. Oh, geez. We got our fingers crossed and praying for you, Nikki. We're coming at it from every angle we can think of. Oh, geez. Crank up the volume, rip off the knobs, and tick off your neighbors. No, Nikki lives on an island, and the volcano eruption took out her home. Nah, Nikki's a good soul. She shows us uh, what life is like on her island. And when she's does a live video driving up the mountain, fantastic. And by the way, Nikki, thank your chauffeur for me again. I appreciate his driving and taking good care of the situation. Yeah, Nepal is terrible. That situation. The dam broke and flooded everything, just washed it all away. Yeah, talk about feeling helpless. I mean, there was nothing they could do. There was nothing anybody else could do. That's it's sad days. Sad days. Yeah, I think again, if I remember right, I think you knew the lava flow was coming and you were able to get out of the way. It wasn't one of those eruptions that was instantaneous coverage with the lava. Yeah, that's right, Mike. It's like I people who build a house on the coast of certain states. Why? There's going to be a hurricane. There's going to be a storm. Uh, don't be surprised when the weather takes out your home. I don't remember the towns. I don't remember if it was in Tennessee or North Carolina. It was close to the border. Uh, I think it was close to Hot Springs, North Carolina, but a flood came, wiped out the town, and they rebuilt. And less than 10 years later, it flooded again, wiped out the town. Uh, Several people rebuilt, but then not many years later, it flooded and nobody rebuilt. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Nikki, you just never know where that's going to turn up. Rapid City, South Dakota. The name itself kind of leads one to believe it was next to a river. I was reading years ago about a volcano that was in Mexico, and everything had always been, flat land and normal. And one day the farmer went out into his fields, and there was a little mound and steam coming out of it. And it just slowly grew and grew until he had a small mountain, out in his fields. It, I think Nikki means that it was not a known volcano. It's like Mount St. Helens had been dormant for so long, a lot of people was ignoring it. And the farmer in Mexico, he didn't know there was going to be a volcano under his property. Oh, geez. That's awful, Mike. That's awful. Uh, was it on a flat area, Nikki, or was it uh, on a mountain? Yeah. Oh, has anybody heard about Hawaii? What happened after that storm hit? Because the people who had been displaced because of the fires out there, uh, they were not allowed to put tents on their property. They had to put tents on the beach. Okay. Because I thought most of the island was kind of had hills from what I'd seen in your live videos. Not always. Sometimes they appear, like I said, this farmer's field was flat, and he just had like a big ant hill ish, and it just grew, and until finally he had, 10-story building high uh, mound in his backyard. It never blew up, but it finally had magma coming out. Roger, I saw somebody being interviewed, and they had photos, and it was something else, because anything that was painted blue something next to it would be nothing but ashes, and whatever was painted blue was still there. Now I don't know if they went back and put stuff there or what, but it was scary. I mean scary. But they would not let the people go back and even put tents on their property. That that just blows my mind. And the Palisade fires in California, those people still have not been allowed to rebuild. Oh yeah, Northwoods. It is what they call a cauldron. I mean, it is a huge area. And North Carolina has had earth shakes. I wouldn't call them quakes, because they're so small. But we've had a record number this year. There around here in North Carolina, it's huge to have, a 1.0 or a 2 point something. But I think they said we'd had around 30. It was nuts. I don't know the name. I just remember hearing about it. I appreciate you conveying that. I am doing well, and we are so glad to see you this morning. She don't live here, does she? I think I'm going to call you E. We are very pleased to see you. Northwoods, from everything you say about that individual, I don't want to be around her. And we're doing good. We're talking about earthquakes, floods, volcano eruptions, music, cannon fodder. Oh, geez, I lived there for a number of years. I lived in South Carolina from 2011 to 2021, 10 years. Yeah, Northwoods. I dated one of those, and it was not my opinion that they were that way. It was a professional evaluation of the person. So I need to say again, Mike has a live show tomorrow afternoon. WTF Mike, him and Allie Mack. You never know what they're going to do. A couple of Fridays ago, I was laughing so hard my face was sore the next morning. And Moggs' show tonight, Mr. Lee and some of us will be in chat there. Oh yes, Mike. I mean, Old Faithful. Old Faithful, erupting consistently, that should be a warning to everybody right there. But, there's nothing we can do. Well, the professional evaluation came in a roundabout way because obviously we were having problems and tried to work things out. And that's when I was told the information. So, what can we say? Live and learn. Uh, if all goes well, we'll be live in the morning. And out of the thousands of places you guys could be, I greatly appreciate your being here. Yeah, Northwoods, there's more than one of those, male and female. I don't understand why humans do that, but humans do that. I bet so, Kathy. So I appreciate everybody coming in this morning. I hope that only kind words come your way today. And as always, I hope all of you get the day that you deserve. Y'all take care, and I will catch you next time.